Kayla, thank you so much for your time. I'm so appreciative of your time. So thank you for coming, chatting on the podcast. And I hope that the information you provide will help like inspire and make other couples feel like more confident or empower them with your knowledge. That's what I want because your photos are amazing. I love how
Thank you.
you guys are like young, hot couple. You and Levi are like a really like young, attractive couple. And I felt like you really did your wedding right. Like, I really like it. So tell me, what was your wedding date?
It was May 10th of 2024.
And what venue did you go with?
We were at Blue Venado in Pamul. It's their original location on the beach. It's their location that's a little more private. Their seaside venue looks very similar, but it has a hotel on one side. And we wanted like complete privacy, we're the only people in the group on the planet. We're the group on the beach in Mexico. That's the feeling we wanted. So we definitely got that at the location.
Nice. And you felt that way, like at your ceremony and at the venue, you didn't have any like lurkers or anything like that?
No, it's about 25 minutes south of Playa. And you drive down this dirt road and you're like, hey, where are you taking us? Is this even a real place? And then all of a sudden it opens to a palapa and the beach, and there is like no one in sight. So you really get that feeling of seclusion and privacy. The last thing we wanted was a resort wedding where, we're standing up there and there's this beautiful background. And then all of a sudden the kid's running across in his little swimmies. So it was really important for us to not have, the people peering down on the balconies. I know that it doesn't bother some people, but for me, it was just something that it wasn't something that I was worth the compromise for. Even though those locations are super beautiful, I just privacy was like number one for me.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Sometimes when I look, like it's like your wedding isn't necessarily like you don't intend to create this like spectator sport, but when you have your wedding at a resort,
it is.
Everyone there is
like unavoidable.
Yeah, and you just see like in some photos too. It's just like people hanging on the railing in their bathing suit.
And I will say we were guilty of that. We stayed the hotel we stayed at was the Grand Hyatt, and they had a beautiful wedding. But I found myself on the balcony staring down, and I was like, I'm doing the thing that I totally.
This episode is brought to you by Free Spirit Wedding. Hi, I'm Danielle Blanchard, your go-to destination wedding photographer and videographer based in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. That's right, I do it all. Hybrid shooting means you get both stunning photography and highlight video, all for one vendor fee. My style? It's candid, creative, and totally documentary inspired. I'm all about capturing the real, raw, beautiful moments. Plus, I'll make sure you look and feel absolutely amazing while we're at it. Visit www.freespiritwedding.com or follow me on Instagram, Danielle Blanchard _photographer to learn more.
It's so beautiful, and you like want to appreciate how much effort they put in. So you just can't help but to look. And so human nature, I knew that was going to happen. So I wanted to avoid that.
Living here in Mexico, I always my husband always laughs at me because I'm like, oh shit, wedding watch. And I'm like, 10 minutes. So I have like a pair of binoculars I keep in my beach bag because I like to look at people on yachts and I want to look down the beach if something's happening. So I'll have my binoculars out, and if I see a wedding happening, I just like to go take a walk and check it out because I'm kind of like I'm a big people watcher, and I'm a big wedding watcher as well. So how many people did you? Sorry,
I said I want to see the choices other people made too.
For sure. And sometimes the dresses and everything, you're like, oh damn, okay,
I could have pulled that off, but we had 46, including us.
Cool. How many people did you invite in total?
We invited around 80.
That's
but
good.
A lot of those people we knew wouldn't be able to go. It was kind of like my elderly grandpa we invited. We knew that he wouldn't be able to travel, but we wanted him to have the invitation and put it up. So we really seriously invited about 72 people that we knew were a possibility of coming or not.
Nice. And then how far out did you invite people? Like, did you come do a walkthrough of the venue, or did you do everything online?
So we booked sight unseen.
Nice.
And then, so we booked around April of 2023 with the venue.
Okay.
And then we went down, we flew down to do the site walk, the tasting. We wanted to stay at the host hotel. We wanted to check out a couple different hotels just to give people options. We knew what price range we wanted to stay in, but we knew that might not be everybody else's price range, and we wanted to be able to provide, we've laid eyes on these hotels, so you can have confidence booking these hotels in these like 3 different price. We did like 3 price points. So
Interesting.
we flew down so we can check out the venue, check out the hotel, see if we liked the rooms. We stayed in the cheapest room at the hotel that was our host hotel, because we wanted to make sure that room was, kind of up to our standard. We wanted our wedding to be like not the most luxurious thing, but still nice. So we wanted to do a lot of the football work for our guests, because we understand that like the most time consuming thing is the research and like crossing your fingers. Oh, I hope the pictures are representative. So we wanted to take that stress off of our guests. So that's why we did that trip down in June of 2023.
So question about that. I never thought about that, going to different venues and offering that to your guests. Like, hey, you can stay at this hotel, this hotel. And what hotel do you think, like, what was the price point that most of your guests sort of settled with? Or which hotel, like, was it the one that you were at? People were like, whatever, I'll just be where you are? Or did people really go for...
So it was split. So about half the guests stayed where we stayed, and we got the room block. We got about 100 a night off with our room block.
Nice.
So we filled, I think, 16 rooms. At the Grand Hyatt, yes.
Grand Hyatt, yeah.
We ended up getting the presidential suite because I got ready there. So I wanted to have all the space. And it was kind of nice because my friends just kind of came in and out, came and hung out, had a mimosa, and then they were able to go back to their rooms. And then half of the guests stayed at the hotel right next door, which was about $75 cheaper a night. So
what hotel was that?
That's called Reef 28. It's a call only. It's literally right next door. So we provided transportation to all of the events. So we had their name on a list. We gave it to Grand Hyatt, and everybody that wasn't staying at the host hotel was still able to come to Grand Hyatt and jump on transportation, being next door. So that actually worked out really well.
And did you guys meet on the beach as well? Like, because the beaches are all public. So did you just walk out on the beach at the Hyatt and your friends walked out on the beach at the Reef and you guys sort of mingled on the beach?
We didn't really mingle on the beach. We had a lot of other events planned for the 3 days, the technical 3 days of the wedding events. So the first night we did a cocktail welcome party at Trujillo's, because that's our last name. So it just worked out that was like a super cool vibey cocktail bar. So I was like, it's called Trujillo's.
Trujillo's?
Yeah.
And that wasn't on the property of the Hyatt, that was somewhere in Playa?
No, it's on 38.
Gotcha.
Yes, it's like that cool little trendy quarter where there's like kind of bars, restaurants, and it has this like tropically moody neon lights kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Really great cocktails, like craft cocktails, and it so happened to be our soon to be together last name.
Yeah.
So I was like, we have to have it there. I mean, I took a picture on the bar and with like, so that was like a must do. We worked with them. They were fantastic to work with. We got it for 2 hours, but then they let us stay and keep mingling after the 2 hours. And so that was night 1. And then the second day was we got married on a Friday. So people just kind of hung out and did what they did. And then, my whole day was taken up by getting ready and transport and all that. And that kind of lasted till 2 a.m. because we had the venue till 2.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. They gave you the venue.
Super late. And that was another great thing about it being so private, is there's no hotels to bother. So we were bumping and partying and eating late night tacos till 2.
Sorry. What was your wedding venue? So you stayed Hyatt, but got married where?
At Blue Venado.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing.
You get the rental.
It's cool too, because if let's say you guys are running late, like 45 minutes or an hour, it's not like, oh my God, we have to wrap this.
It wasn't the end of the world. No.
That's amazing. So you guys went till 2 a.m.
Yes, we did. So we had, well, I'll talk about it in a second. Let me finish with the events. So we, then the next day we had everybody get on transfer and we took them on a catamaran. So we did welcome party, wedding, catamaran, and then we took off and went to Tulum that next day. So there was 3 wedding days and then we took off.
How was the catamaran after the wedding?
So we did a sunset catamaran. So everybody had time to recover, and then they were excited to keep going.
Hell yeah.
I was exhausted. I was like falling asleep on the catamaran because I was like, it was the last event that I had planned the logistics of. So by that time, I was like, everything went perfect. So I felt like I could be relaxed. And then I was just like, they were trying to get me to do shots, and I was like, I just don't have it in me. And everybody had such a great time, and I'm glad we did. I think the catamaran started. We took off at 5:30 p.m. So people got to sleep in. Like it wasn't like I've heard of people doing like brunches the next day, and everybody's kind of like struggling.
No, that's rude.
So I think that it worked out that way.
That sounds awesome. That's so good. And yeah, I'm sure everyone got drunk off of like one drink because they probably had like liquor.
Yeah, they had a little bit in their system still.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I want to wind a little bit. Okay, so tell me about this Treehouse bar. Is that how you say Treehouse? Trujillo's, thank you.
Yeah.
You guys, did you have all 46 guests there for 2 hours and cocktails?
Yes.
And so did you guys pay for that or did your guests pay for that?
We paid for it.
Nice.
It wasn't like a per person thing because we did some small bites and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Their full rental buyout is you have to have 60 people.
Gotcha.
But we decided we'd rather have the place to ourselves. We'll just pay for the 60 people, like the minimum.
Nice.
Because it was really important for us to just kind of have our own space and have it be private instead of just having something off to the side. So we kind of just built it into our budget to pay for 60 people, even though we knew we were not going to have 60 people.
How much did you guys end up spending for that venue for the buyout?
That one was about $4,600
USD. That's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And the service was good and they played good music and it was fun.
And so that came with obviously open bar. We had, I want to say, like more small bites than people could even handle. And they were off their regular menu. So they were super delicious.
Nice.
Whenever we come into the area, we still go eat there.
Nice.
It came with a DJ and that price included, and we got to pick the DJ. So we had been to the restaurant a couple times. And so they have like a couple rotating DJs. So we got to pick our favorite one. They made sure he was available. And we were like, yep, we love this guy.
What was your favorite DJ? Which one?
His name is DJ Captain Funk. And he was great. He's
Captain Funk.
I mean, he was great. He like was able to blend like an eclectic vibe, but keep it like the energy is still high without it being too like party and loud. Like we still wanted it to be like people can mingle, people can talk, people that hadn't seen each other in a while. Like they're not like, what? You know,
right.
But it was volume was perfect. The cadence was perfect. So we really enjoyed him. And then that also included gratuity. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love DJ Captain Funk. That's a great name. That's such a good name.
Yeah.
Then for your catamaran, how did you find that's kind of tricky too. Did you already use this catamaran company or did you book them online? How did you find these guys?
No, we booked them online. We originally had booked a catamaran through a different company. And then there was something just off about it. So I canceled that one and ended up going through Tulum Charter. Yeah.
Cool. Right on. And tell me about that. Like, was it the same thing, like small bites and a DJ? Did you bring DJ Funk on the...
We did not bring DJ Funk. We should have. No, they let us play our own music. We took off and they immediately got everybody drinks. I want to say there was about 6 crew.
That's good.
When we got on, there was a spread of some like guac and ceviche and salsa and all that, so we could have some small bites. And then we paid to have dinner on as soon as we got out, because we figured. I mean, taking off at 5, it's kind of an awkward time. You kind of have to provide dinner because people aren't going to eat before. Like, so we felt like timing wise, since it was like sunset cruise, it was like, okay, by the time we got back, people would have to, if we didn't provide dinner, they'd have to eat like at 8 or 8:30.
But parties can be dangerous too if there's no food. Like it's just
exactly
like, come on. Yeah.
And then, there's some things when we're talking about our budget and stuff, we accepted like if we want to do things, we have to do it the right way. We have to provide the things, like we have to, because our guests are coming for experience. They're flying down, they're taking their time, they're taking vacation, and if we cut corners, it won't be as fun for them. We had to walk this line of like, oh, we can't do everything for our guests, But we also were like, you know what? How would we want to show, like, what would we want as a guest? We wouldn't want to be inconvenienced. We wouldn't want to be hungry. I mean, and everybody had such a great time. We just kept everybody full, fed, fun, and drinks, So
it's so awesome.
So they ended up bringing out all different kinds of fajitas. Everybody ate, snorkeled for a couple hours because we went and then we docked, or we kind of like dropped anchor somewhere. People were able to jump off the boat. They provided like noodles for people to float around in, and then we got back on the boat.
And now you guys left from Tulum?
We left from Playa and went up to, there's a dock up towards Cancun, Puerto Aventuras, I think. Yeah. So that's where we left from, and so we just got the transportation through them. They picked us up. They dropped us off where we needed to go. That's one of the biggest things that I am an advocate for when everybody asked. Like, we provided transportation because we didn't want there to be any confusion where we should be. We wanted it to be like, you come here and you can mindlessly just get on our transportation and do the fun things. So
amazing. That's so good that you provided. You have good like foresight. You're good at planning. Or have you been to a destination wedding before and you're like, what do I do now?
Have been to a destination wedding, but they had everything at the resort, so we didn't have to go anywhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how did you find Tulum charters? You like them? Would you
I would recommend them. There is another company that I've done that we did a catamaran with before the wedding. So we had our closest friends fly in Monday, and we stayed in Tulum Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday we all got in transportation up to Playa del Carmen, met the rest of our guests. And that was our kind of joint batch party. We wanted our friends to be able to meet, and so we did a catamaran before the wedding, and that wasn't as good of an experience, but that was a company down in Tulum.
So if it wasn't amazing, it's like whatever.
We don't even have to mention it. We don't have to slander or anything like that. So
that's Mexico. You like not slander people here.
We can just move on. I would recommend Tulum Charters. They connected us with a great transportation company and a great chartering company. So.
Amazing. What transportation company did you use? Did you use the same transport company for your day of your wedding as well?
No. So we did the transportation through Tulum Charters. They did everything.
Boom. Awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, so tell me what was your vision of your wedding? Like, why did you want to have a destination wedding? Like, why? What's your why? Yeah, that's what
we live in Denver, and there's a lot of people that fly here to have weddings.
Yeah.
And so we made our guest list and went, most of the people that are coming have to fly into Denver.
Yeah.
And, it's just not as cool as somewhere tropical. So, and we're not into the mountain thing. So when we were throwing around ideas, it was like, all these Caribbean islands were an option. And what was the driver was a non-resort wedding. So I started looking at, these smaller venues, and what they provided, what their packages looked like. And my husband's father lives in Spain. So kind of on that Atlantic coast made a little more sense since we'd have a couple people coming from Europe. And I just randomly found Blue Venado in one of the ride pages. Those Facebook pages are, I can't rant and rave more. There's a lot of crap you kind of have to sift through and a lot of drama, but if you can filter down or search in the search bar of like venues, locations, like what you're looking for to really like hone in, and it kind of, you can find some diamonds and some recommendations in those threads that are amazing. The venue had a Facebook group. I joined. I wanted to see what people were saying about the venue in the threads, and everybody just ranted and raved about how great of a time they had. And so it kind of seemed like a no-brainer to go with them, because the biggest criticism anybody had was, the communication could be better. And the way I viewed it was, it is what it is when you're communicating with people of a different culture,
it's Mexican culture. Yeah. It's just Mexican culture. They're like manana type thing. Yeah. But that's cool. That's amazing. I love that you did an off-resort wedding.
Yeah. And I wanted more control over everything. So once I started doing research on Blue Venado, there was no vendor fees, which was huge because I wanted to no vendor fees.
Hold on. Whoa. That's crazy. Something so I do wedding photography, and something that drives me nuts is like the vendor fee, because these hotels have it on lock.
$6,000-$7,000,
like $1,000 sometimes, or if you're like a photographer, and then so you have like me, my assistant, and then they want someone to do video, and then they'll charge 2 different vendor fees for that, even though we're all on the same team. It's just like, it really bothers me, because then I have to either pay for, like, I pay for half of it sometimes, or like I cover
Yep.
the cost of it, but it
And
drives me nuts.
so at Grand Hyatt, I didn't have a vendor fee for my makeup artist, which was nice. Zoe Elizabeth hair and makeup,
Yeah.
Reef, she did such an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How did
I did have to pay a vendor fee for her to be at the
How come
hotel.
you didn't have to pay a vendor fee just because it was hair and makeup?
I think it's because we worked with them for like the room block, and so we still got a wedding coordinator with them, and I was worried they were going to treat us different because we weren't having the wedding on site. We didn't actually have any events there. We just got the room block, but they still assigned us a wedding coordinator and still made it like really nice and super accommodating, and sent us champagne then the day we arrived and congratulations and stuff like that. So
That's
they really did a great job. Even still making us feel special,
Yeah.
doing the wedding in the area.
Amazing.
They connected with Blue Venado to make sure that like if there was a problem with transportation, they would take care of it and they didn't have to, bother us about it on the day of. So I think that they just, and I could be wrong, I don't know. All I can speak for, I had a great experience with them, and he does a lot of hair and makeup there. And
Okay, yes, person. I liked your makeup. It was really good. Well, I made a little presentation of your photos as well. We're
Okay.
gonna go through that in a minute. Don't worry. But tell me how you came about finding your hair and makeup person.
I was struggling finding a hair and makeup because I am mixed.
Yeah.
My best friend is mixed. My mom's
Right.
very fair skinned. My sister is even more fair skinned. And the two of the other girls that got their hair and makeup done were Asian. So it was very important that the makeup artist kit spanned those skin tones, but also the tones they used for like blush and
Were there accurate tones?
were the accurate tones. I saw a lot of makeup artists who had my skin color, had a darker skin color, but they used a like white based blush, and it just
Crazy.
and I was like,
You're like, I'm over toasted almond girl. Okay.
yeah. It was just really important that it didn't look wrong. And that they had like, and I know that's very difficult to find in Mexico because the access to
that's difficult to find even sometimes in Toronto is
Right.
finding like a good this is hard as an artist, like as a makeup artist, is coming like sight unseen, never doing a test.
right.
And then just having to like go. But if you hire someone that is like a professional, an experienced professional,
Right.
you should already have everything premeditated. So
So
sorry, what was their name?
Zoe Elizabeth.
Okay. And
she has a team that's like her brand, Zoe Elizabeth.
cool.
And she had an assistant, and I got hair done. But we did the trial the night before, so they let me do the trial. They let me schedule the trial for whatever. And they said, we have a lot of brides that do the trial the night before for the welcome. So she did my hair and makeup. We did the trial, and then she kind of, what changes do you want to make for tonight? So then she like added a smokier eye, and then we put my hair up.
That is so smart.
So I
That
still
is
got
so
the trial.
smart.
I got my hair and makeup done the night before, and
Nice.
so it worked out that way. One reason I hired her is because she's really focused on continued education. So she flies different places to go to like the Makeup by Mario, learning new techniques and stuff. But she also flies up to Miami every couple months to like re-up on products to make sure she does have the range of skin colors and, the newest products and the newest tones that are trendy and stuff like that people may want. So just to me, she was someone who invested in her brand, and I didn't treat it like a side gig. Like she's not like, oh, I do makeup on the side. Her communication was professional. She sent me invoices, and everything was very clear. You could tell it was very geared towards the destination bride who's a little more used to, maybe American or Canadian culture of.
Was she Mexican or was she American?
No, she's actually British.
Gotcha.
She's married. She's married to a man from Mexico City, and then they just loved that area and ended up moving there.
So you had a team of 3 cups?
Yes.
And then how long, like how many people as hair and makeup did they do? Or did they just do yours? And then how long did it take?
So mine took an hour. And then they scheduled 45 minutes for everybody else. So they were 45-minute blocks. One girl would get her hair done. One girl would get her makeup done. They would switch. And that was block 1. And then block 2, my mom and sister got theirs done. And then they switched. And then mine was block 3. And then they did mine at the same time.
Amazing. How much did you end up paying Zoe?
So I paid for everybody's. It was six people, including myself, and my trial was 2,100, I think.
That's really good. I think
Yeah,
that's
it was
really
like
good, especially if you
2,070 or something. Yeah.
That's really good. I think that's really good. I think that's awesome. That's such a great idea to have your trial the night before.
Yeah.
So the day of the wedding, it's just like she already knows what she's doing.
And it's fresh, and it's not like, oh, I did this trial like 6 months ago. Yeah. It was definitely risky to like obviously hire somebody, but I think that's the way things are going nowadays anyways. You know, with these, I will say she was on the way more expensive side of everything, but I think the quality is worth it. It showed. I sat down in the hotel room and I kind of took a video of my husband and I at the end of the night, and my makeup it looked like I had just got it done.
Really?
Yeah. I was kind of sad I had to take it off at the end of the night because it looked so good. It stayed so well through the sweat and the padding, and she, you know, she left me with lip gloss and everything I needed to like touch up. She provides touch-ups, but the logistics of the day just didn't require it for me personally. But yeah, she did a great job, and it lasted.
Shout out to Zoe. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear. I love when people have good experiences. That's amazing.
She's definitely one of my favorite vendors.
Cool. And then tell me about your photographer. How did you find your photographer? Did you hire a videographer or just a photographer?
Yes, so we went with Jessica Talento Films for the videographer and Bomba Photography for photographer. We had the photographer come the night before as well.
Cool.
And then I think we paid for 8 hours. So they came for 2 hours and then I think 8 hours on the day of. And then we hired the videographer for 6. So I kind of
just for the day of.
Yeah. I didn't have them take getting ready photos of me. I had my friends snap a few photos. That's why I don't have a ton. I wasn't that worried about it since I didn't have bridesmaids. We still got like pictures with my friends. Once I got to the venue, they took like the bridal portraits and stuff of me getting dressed because I got dressed at the venue. But I didn't really need makeup photos. It wasn't as important to me, and I didn't want to pay for the extra time to have them like sit around and then transport 25 minutes down to the venue.
So you didn't want to do family photos, or you did?
We did like 3 family photos on the day of the wedding.
You're crazy. Why didn't? Oh, I guess because why?
Because there was fun to be had. That's not fun.
Cool.
We did our photos. So I had 3 wedding dresses.
Yeah, we'll talk about that actually.
I did one.
I did see that. I'm like, this girl's got a wardrobe.
Actually, okay. So I did 3 official wedding dresses and then another dress that I had to wear and I had nowhere else to wear it. So it was like the see-through dress.
Sorry. And then for the videography, Jessica, what was their name?
Jessica Talento Films.
And then how did you find Jessica? Same thing on the venue?
I wanted a videographer that worked well with the photographer because I didn't want them in each other's shot. And I wanted someone who had a relationship. So
nice.
That's how I found.
So they recommended that person.
And they have similar styles. So yeah.
It's amazing. Okay. I want to sort of go on and screen share. Let me find it. 2 seconds. Un momento. Present and record. I just want to screen. Okay, let's go. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can actually.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so is this the night? I feel like this is a blend. This is sort of you guys in Tulum prior to the wedding.
Yep. So top left is the girls' day. We did yoga on the beach.
Love
and
it.
then they provided that one. I think it was $75.
Oh, this is why you guys are all in this workout wear. I was like, is this the coordinated wardrobe for the day? Like,
yes. So it was girls just want to have sun. That was the theme.
Cute.
And so we did yoga, and then it was $75 a person for yoga, 2 cocktails per person, and lunch.
Dude, where was this at?
It's called Sala. It's in Tulum.
Okay, I want to check that out. That looks amazing. Yeah. Amazing. And this was at the night before?
This was just like a little dinner we grabbed just once my friends arrived when we were staying at the villa. So we stayed at a villa for the 3 nights or 4 nights and
okay. Is this color like, okay, how do you communicate to your guests? Do you pick out these dresses for them? How do you do this?
This is my mom, my sister, and my best friend. So my best friend's in the yellow.
That's your mom on the far left?
On the far right.
On the far right. I'm sorry. Sorry, duh.
In the green.
Well, anyway, your mom looks really young. I thought that was your,
No. Okay. So my mom, my sister, and my best friend. I didn't want to wear pajamas because I knew that we were getting ready at the hotel and then going, and I was going to get dressed at the venue. So I didn't want to be
stupid.
I didn't want a robe. I wanted like a cute little dress. I did a strapless so I could just not mess up my hair and makeup and just like step out of it.
Amazing.
And then I got the tropically vibes. So I sent them a photo and said, pick a color that's in this little thing. And they actually coordinated the dresses themselves.
I love it. They're like your fairy godmother. So
Yeah. They
I
actually
love
had to
it.
cut themselves out of the dresses to not mess up their hair and makeup.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like the pajama, like the silk robes are fun, but I get what you're saying. Since you had to go to a second location,
We had to be in a van. It was sweaty. I was like, I'm not wearing a silk. No.
no, and it is sweaty. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You win. You win. This was your welcome bag. Was this your welcome
Yeah.
bag?
Yes.
Okay.
So it
Tell
was our
me how
welcome back.
are you a professional welcome bag maker? Like this is so
No, I just enjoy. I'm very type A. I sourced all of this stuff. So we're big NFL fans. I'm a Raider
nice.
fan. He's a Bronco fan. So incorporating that, like our families have this like cute little rivalry. It's super fun. So I really wanted to speak to that. His favorite number is 5. My favorite number is 10. That's why we got married on 5/10. And then so the cookies, I was like, it's kind of no brainer to like do that kind of thing and have it be like a cute little snack. And then we knew we wanted to do little
Oh, it's
fried little
custom
alcohol bottles.
made.
So I bought the bottles off of Amazon. The boxes off of Amazon. The little salt
You're gonna
vial.
want your links on this for sure. I feel
Okay,
like
I
this
have a list.
secret sauce. People want this is
Yeah.
a lot of legwork. This is a
So
lot
I
of work.
put this all together.
Yeah.
I got with I had done stickers for some kind of event, and I emailed them. They're in the UK, and I said, hey, do you think you could do like a clear metallic-y gold? Like I'm doing black and gold for everything for my wedding. Do you think you could do our logo and we can figure out the size and stuff? So they worked with me, and all the stickers for everything, like the personal branding, like yeah. So the L and K, that was our like logo for the wedding, and the Trujillos and all that. All the stickers ended up being like $30, and I bought the boxes on Amazon, and then the little shot glasses were the most expensive thing, but I bought them from like a Mexican shop.
Yeah, that's like handmade pottery. So that makes sense.
So I was like, that could be like people's little souvenir.
Okay.
And then
This is
all
amazing.
the little snacky things, I bought those bags on Amazon, and then
Yeah.
the little stickers. Obviously, I put the stickers on everything at home in the States, packed them in a bag, and then when we got to Mexico, we went to Walmart, we filled them all up, and then I heat sealed them. So there's you just need a flat iron, girl. You just need a flat iron.
Did she pack a heat seal?
No.
Like,
So yeah, you just need a flat iron. Those are like black little snack bags, come with like a metal or a metallic inside. So as soon as you just like really quick, just
love
in
it.
everything stayed fresh, and then we could provide like snacks without
What
being
is this?
expensive.
Chicharron in here?
Yeah,
Pork rinds? And then you add some Advil sunscreen.
lip gloss, a little bit of bug wipes, and then like a little hangover packet thing. And those were all on Amazon.
And then a Turkish towel.
That was the most difficult thing to get to Mexico, I will say.
Why? Because you had 46 of them?
Yeah. They just took up one piece of luggage.
And this beach bag. Where did you get this bag from?
Online. I can find all the links.
You bought it here or you brought it with you?
I brought them with me.
That's amazing. And yeah, these cookies, where did you, you brought these with you, obviously.
I brought all of that except for the food in the black bags.
Yeah. And then, so when you guys arrived, did you and your friends pack these together, or did you and Levi do this by yourselves?
Levi and I did it ourselves. It was our time to spend together. He's super helpful. He enjoys doing this kind of stuff too. So we just sat in our room with our balcony open and a couple drinks and just
was this your itinerary here or the calendar? This little sleep brochure. Tell me about this. I want to see it. Do you have a copy with you?
I'm looking for one right now.
Can you give me a digital copy of this? I can.
Side of it was welcome, thank you for coming, and all the timing, the schedule is what time you're getting picked up, and then the consulate information, the hotel information, and then walking directions to Trujillo's. So basically everything you need to know without having to look it up. And then I created a little Google map of everywhere so they could download it and just be like, okay, I have to be at this place at this time, click. And then I added some recommendations. So this spot's good for ice cream. this is Walmart if you need anything. So I kind of did a little like map for everyone.
And then did you have a website or an app as well?
I did. I can send it to you.
What did you use for your website, your wedding website?
I used Wix and I like kind of built it from scratch.
Did you? Yes. Most people just use like the dot. Like, no, I bought a domain name.
It was toast to the Trujillos.love.
That's
and
really
everything was toast to the Trujillos. So our email, so I created an email on Gmail that was strictly wedding stuff because
that makes sense. That makes
it
sense.
made it so much easier to not mix personal email. And now that the wedding's done, I can just like never see all that stuff ever again. You know, and then I put that on the website. So if people had questions, they can email us instead of constantly texting us, asking questions. But I put like our wedding colors on there. I mean, I put everything on there.
.love. Hold on.
See if it's still up.
Love?
Yep, it's still on there.
Oh, this is amazing. Okay, hold on. I want to share this right now. Give me a second.
So I changed. It looked a little different before the wedding, and then I changed it for the wedding weekend.
You guys are stylish. You guys are really good looking too. And I just feel like, can you guys start a blog or something, or like a YouTube channel? Like, I just want to know more about you, to be honest. I'm like, what do they do? How do they meet? What's going on here? Levi proposed while enjoying the sunset intimate Belize. Oh, you guys went, little did Kayla know she was swimming in a lagoon. See what I'm saying? Like, we're honored to hold you celebrate our love. This is amazing. And then you had events. So you built this on Wix.
I designed our favorite flower is a peony, but our second favorite flower is the bird of paradise. So I designed that L and K with the bird of paradise.
How did you design that?
Canva.
And this isn't your welcome peanuts, no exclusions, mayonnaise, tuna, toast, shrimp. Okay.
So we put like allergies, just everything that you could think of.
Did you have any rules? Like, did you have any did you have rules at your, like, I feel like, did you have any?
My only rule was no phones during the ceremony.
Okay.
Which
so that's reasonable.
Every single person respected. Also I provided everybody the photos after. And I was very much like, hey, we'll give you every photo. We just don't want your phones out.
And did people
I didn't
oblige by your rule?
I didn't see a single phone.
Nice. I just feel like people don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like.
No, I think the biggest thing is like clarity, right? Like you tell people, oh, don't have your phone out.
Yeah.
Or you can say, hey, we want you present and we don't want phones in our pictures, but we want to provide you with those beautiful pictures as well. Like, to me, it's like taking that extra step to say, like, why? I think a lot of people approach things like rules.
Yeah, because I say so.
Like, hey, we would prefer this and we're still going to provide, like, you know, taking that extra, because these are the people that love and care about you and they just want those memories as well. So we gave people an opportunity to take a picture at the beginning of the ceremony. I walked down the aisle.
Okay.
My dad officiated, so he said, if you'd like to grab a picture of the couple, you can grab a picture one right now. We did the picture thing, and then please put your phones away again. And that was it. Like, people got their photo, and
that's smart. Yeah, that's smart, because they just let them have the one photo. Just let them have the one photo, and then they get their system, and then we're gonna just keep. And then we're going to move forward. Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah, so I think you have to walk that fine line, because I think on a lot of these like Facebook groups, it's like, no, you're the bride and it's your day and you get to make all the calls. And it's true, you're paying for everything, and you know, people deserve a day of where it's, you know, all about you, but you also have to understand, like, these are people that love and care about you, and you also have to make some reasonable compromises. And if the compromise to people not having their phone out the entire ceremony is, hey, well, we're going to provide you with the pictures and we're going to provide you with an opportunity to take one photo. I mean, you know, I think that goes a long way. I think it buys a level of, because I think guests just start to feel a little disrespected. Like,
well, and they don't know what's going on, right? Like, they're like, well, when do I get to take the phone out? Can I take the phone out when you're walking down the aisle? No, that's really smart. I think everyone should implement that. That is so smart. That is so smart.
I put that on our Q&A.
Was that your idea? Did you learn that from somewhere else? I'm just curious. I
had seen the no phone, take a picture thing on, I think on like a group, and then I kind of reconfigured it in a way that like I thought could be communicated better.
Very smart. Very smart. That's so good. That's very smart. Okay, I want to go back to your photos because I want to talk about them. Okay,
I
yeah,
also
these
think
welcome bags, winner, best welcome
that
bag ever.
I'll send you
Totally,
that pamphlet.
I love it. So this is you guys on the way, and these are.
Yeah.
Was this at? Okay, okay. Tell me about these bags. Wait, I don't want to go back. Tell me about these bags.
So those are all the ridiculous bags we brought.
I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just went on Walmart and got like shoe like bag sets of 3 bags, and they were like $75 for 3 bags. And then we loaded them up with all
Goodies.
all those welcome bags and stuff. We didn't assemble them until we got there. And
You're
then
the best welcome bag I've ever seen.
the 2 black bags on top are my dresses. So we got like the little Wally bags. That's what we carried on. And then we checked these bags.
You checked everything out.
And then
okay, so tell me. Oh, sorry. Go back. Or go ahead.
I had printed out a list of what like everything that was in there because we did. It's pretty common to get stopped at customs if you have all that stuff. So I just had a breakdown of everything that was in there. So it was so organized and in my little binder.
That means
I had just like it all printed out. Like this was this much, this was this much, and they didn't even like bother with me. And they were like, okay,
like sure, go ahead. Amazing. That's so good. Very impressive to have a little binder. Okay, what is this place? The White Elephant. Like, tell me, what are these photos here?
So the White Elephant is where the villa we stayed at in Tulum 3 days before the wedding with our friends. And that was great because it came with staff, it came with a common area, and every room had a bathroom. So it's kind of like hotel style. There was no sharing bathrooms. It was all of the doors were external and led to like a little courtyard. And then everybody had their own bedroom and bathroom.
And why did you guys, so you had just like your core group of people come a couple days prior to everyone else flying in?
Yes. So we had, because we didn't do a batch party before. We just did joint batch because all of our friends were like the last ones to get married. So all of our friends are already married. Everybody's already done like the traditional batch thing. Like at the end of the day, we were more focused on like our friends from different places and times in our lives meeting and like vibing before the wedding to have a better time at the wedding than like being crazy. So we had everybody meet us on Monday. We did we did like a girls' day. We did dinners. We did the catamaran, and then we drove up from Tulum. So it kind of worked out that there was like multiple destinations and just that like area.
And this was in 1 week.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah,
So
you got a lot done.
then-
Did you and Levi foot the bill for the White Elephant, or was this something that you guys all paid individually?
No, we like broke everything out. Like I want to say around the time that we booked the wedding, got all that booked. I had started researching how much would a catamaran cost for this many people, like so per person. We ate a little bit, just because of like the difference of like when I researched and like when we actually booked things. But just told everybody for this amount of days at the hotel divided by this many people, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. You know, all very clear. And then we just had everybody Venmo us like a couple days before it was all due. And then we paid it off.
Sorry, did you pay for the flights? Like schedule all the booking and the flights and then people paid you? People booked their flights on their own?
We had everybody book their flights on their own. We just tell them when to be there, basically.
And then, so how much do you think your guests spent like attending your wedding with the flight and the hotel and the extra activities and things like that?
So our friends that came earlier, it was $700 for all the activities. The flights were about, depending on what you flew and when you bought your ticket, flights were about $200 to $250 if you would have bought it with a reasonable time. I mean, we know that there's some people that paid like $500-$600, but we also know that they waited till like a month.
$250 round trip for the flight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's part of the reason we chose that area of the world, because
the airport's fantastic.
The airport's great. And from like everywhere we did, like we priced it. We have some friends that came from like North Carolina. We had friends that came from California. We had friends that came from Idaho. So it was all kind of between $200 and $300 for everybody.
Right.
That was a huge factor. And then if you went on like a little bit of the cheaper end, Reef, I think people paid total for 4 nights like $450. It was a little less than $100 a night.
Right. Okay, so that's not bad. So people spend roughly around $1,000 for the week.
About $1,000 to $1,500, depending on how you did it. You know, everybody made different choices. but we made sure that we did a mock budget before we booked everything.
Right. No, I
So-
love it because you guys did the restaurant, you did the catamaran, you had the wedding and the dinner.
And basically, once you got down here, we paid for everything.
That's cool. That's so good. That's amazing. I think that's one thing, I hate to say it, but like, yeah, if you're going to have a destination wedding, like you have to sort of treat your guests a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Because
Agree.
they might only have like 2 to 3 weeks vacation a year. You know, they're going to spend $1,500.
Yep.
Yes, we love you, but
Yeah.
I had a friend. I don't know why she picked this resort, but it was going to be like $8,000 for my husband and I to come just for the 1 week because it was a really high-end resort. And I was like, I
Yeah.
love you, but like, I'm just letting you know I'm not coming to your
Right.
wedding.
It's just too much. And so that's why we chose somewhere Reef, depending on when you booked and like how far in advance or what room you booked. I think it was between 78 and like 150 a night, depending on
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And
No, that's
then
cool.
so we made
So
sure.
I'm interested in someone like you being so type A. Like, how do you come about the budget? Like, when you and Levi talk about having the destination wedding, like, were you like, hey, my parents are gonna help? Like, or were you guys
we
like,
didn't have any help?
Yeah.
We had set a couple budgets,
mm,
and then we said, scrap the budget idea. What kind of
Okay.
wedding do we want to have?
mm-hmm,
Let's price all of that out,
gotcha.
and then take stuff out, like plus or minus stuff according to what like we find the value in. And I know not everybody's in that position, but it was getting super stressful being like, well, it's this like trying to chase where we're like, what's our vision? What's the highest end of that?
Right.
And then what do we cut down, or what can like I try to source from, like, because buying like the tiles of how we did the seating chart would have been like crazy to try to transport. So I ended up buying them I found a tile company in Mexico and getting them shipped to Grand Hyatt.
Okay, let's talk about that. I think that's like amazing. Hold on, rewind. Where are these tiles? I know I included a picture of these tiles. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. You have a lot of like, let's get into that part because anyway, okay. Tell me about these tiles. So these are the table tiles. Where did you get them from? I love them. I think
I
they're
had
so
no idea how I wanted to do a seating chart. I just knew I didn't want it to be lame, and I didn't want to have to transport another.
Tiles are heavy too.
Well, and I didn't want to transport another sign.
Mm.
I already had like the welcome sign. And I got a lot of things. I designed a lot of things myself and then got them on Etsy. So I had researched a couple of different people that made signs and said, hey, if I provide you with all of these, can you give me a custom price? Like if I'm buying,
as well? No.
So yeah, those little like cutout things. So everything acrylic I got from like one person. I was like, hey, if I like bulk order like all this stuff from you and I design everything, like what kind of like what? And so with the little belly bands that went on the tiles, I just got with a woman that prints like gold leaf stuff, and I was like, hey, I need this to be like 2x4. Can you give me some custom pricing? So I did a lot. Like I emailed a lot of, and I wasn't trying to haggle with them. I just was like, hey, if I do something like off menu, basically, like that's not one of your offerings, what can we do here? So I designed those because everything had to be the same font and everything. And then
Absolutely.
I took those, and then I got the tile source from a Mexican tile maker. I had the tiles mailed to the hotel to my wedding coordinator, and so they're authentic Mexican tiles. And we just wrapped the bands around and then dropped them off at the venue the night before.
Amazing. And this was the tile wall? Like this is your seating chart wall?
Yeah. And so everybody got to take home a tile and like we've seen them in all of our friends and family's houses now as coasters. So we put
They're gorgeous.
little coasters. Yeah.
And so this pull-up, did you bring this pull-up with you? This pull-up sign?
I forced my sister to use it as her carry-on. So
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I ordered it on Zazzle.
I've never heard of Zazzle.
It's like a printing company, but they print and they mail it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That was $100.
Yeah.
$79, something like that.
You made your sister bring it with her on the plane?
And it actually comes in a carry-in case.
Yeah.
So
No, pull-ups are the best. Pull-ups are the best.
It was like the whole system included.
Mm-hmm.
So she just used it as her little carry-on.
And the dinner menu here as well. Did you bring that with you?
Yes. So I had.
Are those acrylic?
Yes. So this was one of the things that I had them. They did the welcome sign. They did this. They did
for your stationery. like all the paper and the belly bands. Like, what was your budget for that? Because I feel like that looks expensive to me personally. It looks, or it adds like a very upscale.
I want to say stationary, maybe $500 for everything. So
It's
I
pretty.
did these. These are our save the dates.
Oh my God, open it up. Let me see it.
So
Oh my God, that's so swanky.
I got
And
these.
this is
I got
your
these in bulk online.
I'm gonna want to know where you got these save the dates for a destination wedding like that. That just out of the park.
I found these from a girl on Etsy, and we just kind of like sticker glued in there, and they're the magnet. This is the magnet.
I love it.
And then it has just like a little photo of us because like everybody just wanted a photo of us to put on their fridge.
Yeah, because you guys are cool.
And then here's like the actual save the date. This is what I got off Zazzle. I made it
so
myself.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
so to make it a little cheaper, I got a 5x7. And then I just cut them in half. And then they had the QR code for the website on the back.
5x7s on an 8x10 page, and then you cut them personally and slid them in?
No, so I did like an I did like one of the blank invitations. I uploaded what I did on Canva on there, and then I just like cut them myself.
Did you take a course on how to do this? Like, how are you so...
When we were watching TV, I would just kind of be on my computer playing around with things and ideas, and like, it took me a really long time to source all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You could have someone do this for you. It'd be like $12 an invitation, or I think this ended up being like $3.50 per.
So let's talk about the entertainment, because you guys like spent, your wedding was awesome. Like, you spent money. Like, I love it. Like, so tell me about, was this provided by the venue, or how did you find these vendors?
Yeah, so they were just offerings from the venue.
That's
DJ Fun from Trios the night before. We were like, let's just get a quote for everything and then decide what is like worth the money to us and what we want to go with and what we don't.
Was the mariachi worth the money?
The mariachi was $450 for an hour. They played at Cocktail Hour. I heard they were great. I was taking photos.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoyed them. The water drums were $350 for a 25-minute show, and they let us go up there and play it and like the guests play.
Nice.
So that was great. Nice. The fireworks were $1,300. Yeah. And then the violinist, I think, was also $350 or $325.
And this is stuff that the venue presented to you. They're like, hey, if you would leave, we also provide these services.
So
I
the
love it.
Played during dinner, which was, I loved it. She was very like engaging. It was an electric violinist, so she was like dancing. It was very like involved.
Yeah. She like walked around and worked the room.
Yeah.
Like that. That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah. So it was like lively, and it was, as they were serving, it was
venue through.
It's a great venue. Their cheapest packages are like pretty affordable if you go like kind of like bare minimum. But you also build.
What did you build off of it at the venue? Like what did you
was 17,000 for 9 hours. 9 hours of open bar. So as soon as everybody got there, they started drinking. That includes, that 17,000 includes, because we paid for the water drums, violinist, mariachi through. That's included in that. That includes transportation.
Oh wow!
That includes all like the servers, the food. So we did a churro cart as well. We did a photo booth.
Hold on. That included the photo booth?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Included the photo booth, and it included a late night meal. So we did.
I actually used to have one of these buses.
It was so fun. And people loved it. So yeah, that was like pretty much the cost for the day of.
Okay, yeah, I want to talk about your clothing and your dresses and Levi's suit, because it's a very, like usually people go for more of like the khaki tan of the men's suit, but looking at these images now, I get like why you picked that color, because of the jungle green, basically.
I just don't like the khaki with the sand. It blends in too much for me. There's no contrast. There's no pop. There's no fun. It's boring beige to me. So yeah, I was like,
where'd you get your dress? What is this cut called? It's so nice on you.
Halter, I don't know what the halter's called. It's his favorite cut on me. So when I tried on that dress, and it had all the pearls, I was like, this is it. I only went to one dress shop. I kind of knew what I wanted, sparkle-wise. I ordered it. It took like 9 months to make.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so where'd you get your dress from? Your dress is beautiful.
It's called Perla Bridal. They have Perla. They have a location in Vegas, and they have a location in Denver. and they specialize in like a little bit more sparkly. Like they don't have a lot of lace. They don't have a lot of like the boho, which is really, really popular right now. That's not my style, as you can tell. So I was like, I need sparkle, bedazzle. Like I want to stun people. And I found them and they did an amazing job. They had amazing selection. So I went in there. I tried on a whole bunch of dresses. I loved this one. I narrowed it down to 3. And then I just was like, you know what? And two of them were off the rack. So they're like, if you want it, you have to buy. If you want it, you have to kind of buy it now. We can't guarantee it'll be here. We have a lot of people that love dress, and then they come back a couple months later and it's gone, obviously. And then I was like, you know what? It was like one of the dresses was like 70% off. That's the one I wore in my reception. It used to have a train. I bought it. I cut the train off, and it was my reception dress.
Okay, what is with chicks cutting their dresses themselves? This is a thing? Like,
so all the dresses ended up being quite spendy. They were about $9,000 for the veil, the dress, or
sorry, you said 9 G's on it?
4 dresses and a veil.
Where are your other dresses? I don't know if I have. I'm going to add pictures of your other dresses in. I'll add it in because I don't think I put it in my presentation. Let me see. Wait a second.
Yeah, it's not on this.
Because that's the same dress.
That's the same dress. The one with the photo booth was a different dress. Like, that's a different dress.
Okay, and at what point in the night you're like, boom, dress change? This is sparkly.
Yeah,
wow.
So...
the detail, wow.
After the ceremony, I changed. After we took our pictures, we went into the bridal suite. I changed. We decompressed a little bit, and then they announced us at the reception. I was already in the second dress by then, and then right before the fireworks, I changed into the see-through dress, and then we did the water drums. I got wet with the water drums, and I knew I was going to. And then that's when I changed into that jumpsuit, because by that time I was like, I'm ready to get down. I needed a jumpsuit, and so.
Amazing. I love it. So all in total, you spent $8,500 on your bridal, on your dresses?
Yeah. And, that's cool. And shoes and, all that.
I love it. I love it. Okay, did Levi do a wardrobe change?
No, he didn't want to. He just wanted to take his jacket off.
He's like, you go ahead, baby. So let's think about, where did you get Levi's suit? Because his suit's very nice. This suit is very nice.
We went through Indochino because he wanted a tux, but not a tux. So it's a tux jacket, but they're not tux pants because the tux has the silk on the side of the pants. He didn't want that. He wanted like more of a suit pant. So we kind of custom did it, and it ended up, and he wanted like the vest. So we kind of like piecemealed a whole bunch of different types of suits together because he had preferences on all of it. I think it came together really, really nice. And then we got the tie off of Amazon.
Oh, really? I love the color of the suit. The color of the suit is amazing.
Yeah, so we went in there and we looked at we had looked at a whole bunch of different kinds of suits and colors, but they're the one that had the right color and the right fabric, without being too hot. And his suit ended up being like $650 around.
That's really good. And he can wear that again, actually.
Yeah. And it came with the 2 black shirts too.
So tell me, how did you didn't have bridesmaids? But you gave people like a color palette, or how did you do this?
So I picked my mom and my sister's dress. We all put them together. I wanted my mom to be like just as sparkly as me and stand out too. Because I'm not one of those like, oh, my mom's gonna upstage me. Like, no one's upstaging me on my own wedding day. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody knows what they're there for. And then my friends just knew the colors and was like, hey, do you want us to wear a certain color? And I was like, if you want, colors are green. And that's what
I like this. Your friend on the end here, this with the gold, it's really nice. And your mom she got so many. The photographers loved her and her fiance. They got so many great pictures. I was like, hey, hang these in your house. Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah, that kind of just came out of like, if you want to not participate. I wasn't like, oh, if you want to participate, you have to do this. I was like, but if you want to wear colors, wear green. And that's how
right. No, I love your wedding. Your pictures are fantastic. I love your getting ready bag. It's so good. It's so good.
And I can send you those links too.
Please.
This was our invitation. So I sourced so much from like just like other countries and people that were really willing to like work with us and stuff. Like I think it was like my time and effort that like makes it look super expensive. It was, don't get me wrong. It's a nice wedding and we spent quite a bit of money on it, but I think my ability to like be creative was helpful in like bringing that number way down. but I just found someone on Etsy and was like, hey, can you do this? And so
What is it? It's your
this is the invitation.
shoot. Let me see.
So
Oh, it's beautiful.
I kind of just was
Wow.
like, this is how I want it to look, and can you do this? So we had him print these for us, which was like the schedule and the details and all of that. And then I got these little QR codes. So
A
remember,
holographic golden QR code.
I had them. It was the same company that ended up making the stickers later on. So a sheet of these, like 55 of these, was like $4.
And that was to your website?
Yeah, this was to my website for the invitation.
Are you
We-
arguing?
We used the same little
Wax seal?
wax seals as we did on the other ones. I found this like paper at just like Michael's. So we kind of piecemealed them together.
And you made 70. How many people did you invite? How many?
We ended up making 55. And then this is
55
our
of those.
invitation.
Wow.
So it kind of like we kept to the same, like
That's beautiful.
this was the
That's
menu.
so nice.
This was the invitation. So it's like had this like congruent, and I think by using the same printers, the same vendors throughout the whole thing, they were willing to like knock some prices I think a little bit lower just because of the volume, and they appreciated the business, and like I think they appreciated that I didn't try to haggle with them, and I was just very straightforward with what I wanted. So yeah.
You got those acrylics printed on Etsy?
Yeah.
That's so awesome. They look really good. Is this something you came up with, or did you see someone else do this? I've never seen things like the menus like that for a wedding printed on acrylic before. I love printing photos on acrylic. I think it's awesome. I feel like it hasn't picked up.
Was like, well, what if we did this? Or like, I found the acrylic invitations, and I was like, I love those. I love the black. We have to do that. And then I think my type A kicked in. I was like, everything needs to be the same font the entire time. Everything needs to look the same. Everything needs to be the same vibe. And I think that's what like fueled some of my creativity of like, well, if no one has this available, I'm just going to see who's willing to make it for me. And so everything.
Did anything bad happen at your wedding? Like, I feel like you had a pretty ironclad operation running.
The worst thing that happened, and I'm so grateful, is we had the wrong napkins. They were black this is like the pettiest thing ever, and that's why I'm so grateful. We ordered napkins that were like regular with a regular seam, and we got like the boho seam. That was
what does that even mean?
That's how insignificant it was. Like everybody was on time. Everybody got picked up on time. The transportation was great. The food, everybody had the right food. I cannot complain about one thing. And so I just think it was my ability to communicate exactly what I wanted and have everybody on the same page. So like printing out what everybody's schedule was, so nobody was confused about anything. And I think a lot of people run into like issues when they aren't able to communicate what they want, or they're not even sure what they want themselves, you know? So when guests pick up on that, it creates this like anxiety for a guest. Like,
I think you said it. People don't know what they want. I find that very interesting because I'm very much like I make decisions very quick. Like I always know what I want. I never don't know. But I think you hit the nail on the head, and why like I wanted to do this and have this convo with you, because it's just like people don't know what they want.
And I've had a few friends get married since or start planning weddings and stuff. And I'm like, your biggest issue is going to be decision making. And don't let it be. Make the decision. And if you want to change your mind, change your mind. Like, but make the decision. Like, if you're not sure what flowers you want, go in there, pick your flowers. And if you see something on Pinterest later down the road, like ask your florist, hey, can we swap out these flowers? 9 times out of 10, you can make the adjustments and the changes that you want to make, as long as it's like in good faith and they have plenty of time, you know, and it's not the 11th hour. But I think people get so caught up at the beginning stages of wedding planning of like I didn't know I wanted to do the acrylic signs. I think everybody feels like they have to have everything figured out like month 1 of wedding planning. And it's like you can break things out into like more bite-sized tasks when you make a decision, and then use those other decisions to fuel, and then maybe like go back and revisit like, oh, did I want to do it that way? And it keeps you moving forward rather than stuck. You'd always take one step back and kind of like rein something in. But if you're just stuck and you wait till the last minute, you're not going to get anything you want.
You're like a wedding coach. You're like one day at a time, one foot in front of the other.
Just make one decision.
Yes, no. Move forward. Move on.
how do you choose vendors? Well, choose where you want to get married first. Then
Right.
look at photographers at that venue. Is there any photographers that shoot that venue really, really well? That your venue, that they already know the venue. They already know the photo spots. I think so many people try to, like, especially with social media these days and the access to all these, and now you have like photographers flying, you can fly in photographers and stuff. I didn't want to fly in photographer. I wanted a photographer that knew where the little nuanced spots were at my venue. Like, that knew at this time, this spot gets this like really cool shadow across your face, or, this, that, or the other. And so when you can find things that already like flow together, I think it makes it a lot easier. And I also, my second biggest recommendation is, don't, if people want to be helpful, you decide how they can be helpful. You delegate what you think that you can get off your plate. Like, if you are like, hey, I don't want to give up communication with the florist, then don't delegate that task to anybody if you want more control over that. Because I know that we had like so many people that were willing to help us with things. And I just decided it would be easier if we let it all be a surprise to everybody else.
So you didn't delegate anything to your like sister, to your mom. You did everything.
I did everything because it was harder for me to, and I think this is another thing, is like, I have a vision for my wedding, right? Like, me and my husband have a vision, soon to be husband up to.
Yeah.
I now have to communicate that to my sister, who then has to communicate that to the florist. Like, how it's like to me, it was like playing a game of telephone. Like, and then the florist would go to her, and then she would have to come to me, and I'm like, I'm still kind of dealing with this. Unless I didn't care about the florals at all and let her run wild. If I care about it, why am I adding someone in the middle when is it either going to end up I'm not happy with it, or I have to over communicate, and you're actually adding steps.
Right.
And I'm not talking about not letting other people see anything at all ever. You do need help, and you do, but make the decision and then communicate what you need after the decision is made. I printed out pictures of everything that my florist and I had talked about and gave that to my mom. And then she was able to go walk around and say, oh, okay, that looks good. And like, rather than me being like, well, I don't know, what is it supposed to look like? So,
Right.
yeah.
So yeah, your flowers were really amazing as well. Was that part of the venue package, or was that an additional? Did you hire another florist?
So we kind of like piecemealed it, and that was like a really nice thing about the venue, is they didn't lock you into one thing or the other. So we got the leaves on the plates were from the venue, the backdrop, and my bouquet, and the thing in front of our table, because I didn't want you to be able to see our feet in pictures. I wanted it to be
Smart.
were from an outside florist, because it was just cheaper to go through the outside florist than the venue.
So all in all, like, do you have any things that you would have done differently, or like regrets or anything like that?
No regrets. I think I would have maybe done, this is the thing I go back and forth on, because my friends appreciated that when we did, like, we wanted to do a batch, they don't all live where we live. So
Gotcha.
they were flying anyways. They appreciated that we didn't do it two separate, like, trips or whatever.
Bachelorette parties.
Yeah, so they only had one flight, and then we did it joint. So like, couples got to stay together, so they got to split the cost per night. I wish I would have had one more buffer day to like de-bloat, because I was like having a good time drinking, eating, and then like went right to the wedding. So I think if I did anything different, I would have like one extra buffer day to like detox, relax, maybe do a face.
So funny. Oh my God, yeah, because you're like drinking mojitos and stuff like that. So of course you're gonna get like a little puffy.
Yeah. I was a little bloated, but
Yeah.
I had such a great time, and everything went so well, and I was so supported, and so I don't think I would have changed anything, because I think it would have changed the flow of everything.
That's amazing. That's so good. That's so good. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that's amazing. You did a lot of work on your wedding. Your wedding it seemed like a lot of work, but it didn't seem like it stressed you though.
No, it didn't, because I made a lot of those decisions early on. Like, it took me between like getting engaged and like booking and reaching out to most of our vendors, it took me a month. And
oh damn. Sorry. What? Okay, you got engaged and then started planning your wedding a month later?
I had like almost everything booked a month later. And I'm not someone who I'm not someone who
But I've never any. Yeah.
I am not someone who was planning. I wasn't planning it before I got engaged, really. So
I was totally gonna ask you that. I'm like, were
yeah,
you?
no. So we got engaged. I started looking at venues, and then it was that like you can't waver. It's less stressful if you just like book in the big important things. You can like wait to do stuff like this. This is the fun part. This is the
Right.
less stressful part. Do the like get the
Like
big things
lock
out
down
of the
like
way.
your
Mhm.
fundamental things.
Yeah, and then the
And then
rest will
everything
flow.
else is
And then it like opened up money to because we already had our brain wrapped around our budget at that point to be like, oh yeah, we can spend a couple extra $100 on acrylic.
okay,
We can
so what did your whole wedding cost you? That's what I want to know.
so
Like
the
it's
whole thing,
yeah.
including our portion for the batch, all of our travel, our stay in like mind you, we stayed in the presidential because it was worth it. Because we would have had to pay extra at the venue to get there
And
early,
you want
get
to stay in
ready.
the presidential for your
Did you
photos,
want
yeah.
to? Yeah. So we did upgrade a few experiences. So I don't want to be like not transparent about that aspect. And then all the activities for everything, you know, we paid for like my friend and mom and sister all their hair and makeup and stuff. It all ended up being 76,000.
That's good. I totally thought you were gonna be over 80. I totally was like, this wedding is over 80. Seriously. 76,000. That's really good.
Okay.
That's actually very good. I think
Yeah,
that's very good.
that's also including my dresses.
USD as well.
Yeah,
What's US?
including like the suit. The only thing
Yeah.
that's not including is my rings,
Well, that doesn't
which
really like.
yeah.
I don't really know. Do people include that in the wedding budget?
Some
The
people
ring?
do. I think people that are a little bit more
Let
on
me
like,
see your ring. I want to see what kind of ring you wear,
oh, it's
Kayla. Let's
in
go.
my bathroom.
Shut up. Go get it. How far is your wedding?
So this is,
Let me see. Oh, damn, girl. Okay, that's some bling.
yeah, I wanted
Yeah,
it super blingy.
that's bling.
Got it from an Israeli jeweler
Okay.
a couple years ago. I was very clear about what I wanted. I wanted 8 prongs. I wanted all the bedazzles.
Was it gonna
So,
be like, did you design this?
pretty much. It's like this is what I want, and so, and then I
And
knew I
then like,
wanted.
we just have like a basic band. He just has
It is the
like,
most basic. It's like $300. So it worked out.
good. I think you
Yeah.
guys definitely like complement each other, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
it seems like it's a yin yang
Yeah.
dynamic.
He's bougie. But he's less fussy about how that looks. He's like, I just want to be nice, and I'm like,
Nice.
fonts have to be the same, you know. But I think he
feel like
appreciates it.
classic black and gold
Yeah.
contrast,
Yeah.
big sparkle.
He's the one that actually fought for all the like extras. So he really wanted the photo booth. He really wanted the mariachi. He really wanted the violinist. So he was the driver on that. And I mean, how could I say no when
You guys really had an event. Like it feels like you really did like an event, and it wasn't like I've been to over 100 weddings, and I hate to say it, most weddings are so like run of the mill. They're
Yeah.
just very like blah. And your
Yeah.
wedding looked awesome.
Yeah, and he kept calling it the Festival of Love, like the 3-day Festival of Love.
Okay. Okay,
So it
you did.
definitely had that like air of like,
Yeah.
we know we're doing it big. Like,
It's a
and
festival.
yeah, there's a lot going on. So my biggest advice to like brides is like really like explore all your options that maybe aren't traditional. You know, like when we got a quote from the hotel or the resort to do like the welcome party, it was double the price as going 7-minute walk away and doing it at a local, you know, restaurant, which had way more options. It was way cooler, it was way better. It fit our aesthetic, it fit our last name, you know. So like my biggest advice is like, if there's no invitations you like on any of these sites, and like reach out to someone, reach out to like a small business, reach out to like try to design it, try to collaborate. Like there's so many other non-traditional things that like your guests appreciate. You'll be like more proud of, you know, rather than and the Canva membership is so cheap. Have that be your best friend, especially if you're trying to be a little more budget conscious. Because when you can squeeze out some money somewhere, that adds money somewhere else. So you may
Right.
be able to upgrade an experience or do something that you didn't think you'd be able to do before. So that's my biggest advice. Like,
I wish I was a guest
you
at
can
your
think-
wedding. Your
try
wedding
anything out of
looked
the box.
awesome.
Yeah.
Your wedding looks so good.
Thank
Kayla,
you.
thank you so much. You're
Thanks for having
amazing.
me.
You're fantastic. I'm obsessed. Like, I love it. I love your wedding. I wish I was a guest at your wedding. Your wedding looked amazing.
It was great. It was great.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.